Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode for my YouTube channel, because women are multifaceted. Today we have with us a very special guest. Most of you, I'm sure, already know her. She's Dr. Shireen Mazari. She's a parliamentarian. She has her own think tank, the Strategic Studies Institute in Islamabad. She's been a teacher, she's an academic, but most importantly, she's my mother and my ATM. So she's here today. And I just kind of want to first start by having you introduce yourself a bit to our viewers.
Where should I start? As a mother.
As a mother, yeah.
Because since I've had my children, especially my eldest who's sitting here, they have been the first priority for me. And I'm held to ransom also by their demands and their needs for their security and their safety. But so I suppose in that sense, my role as a mother is the most important. But alongside that, of course, I am a professional. I taught for 16 years at Quaid-e-Azam University. Before that, I had taught at Karachi University. And I have been a journalist in the sense that I had my own paper, weekly newspaper for about
What
6
happened
years.
to that paper? I'm sure people are interested to know.
It kind of collapsed because we were very critical of most people and institutions, and therefore we had no advertisements. And then the final breakdown came when our offices were raided by the IB, we think, because we did, for 3 weeks, we did consecutive front page stories against the corruption in the IB. Anyhow, and of course, I have always been a researcher and in terms of academic research. And then I finally made my entry into formal electoral politics in 2008 when I formally joined the PTI, although I had been interacting with PTI much before, since it was set up, in fact.
Do you think that as a woman you face specific kinds of challenges within the political sphere in Pakistan?
I know that women face challenges in Pakistan in every sphere of life, there's no doubt about it. But it would be wrong for me to say that I face challenges as a woman, because from day one, first within my family, I never felt that there was a differentiation between me and my brother, and I was given equal access to every opportunity. And then when I started my career, I personally did not feel any sort of hindrance or any sort of, sexual innuendos when I started teaching. I was very young. I started teaching immediately after doing my graduation from the London School of Economics. And even when I used to go to the National Defence University, where I taught, and since Zia's time actually. And frankly, I have not been aware of discrimination against me because I was a woman. So in that sense, I can't claim.
But what do you feel, so for instance?
But I do know, I have seen women being discriminated against. But I think a lot of and this is my view, I feel very strongly that a lot of the discrimination is not at the level of the state as much as it is at the level of families and society.
Yeah.
The discrimination begins from the home.
Yeah.
And then, because our laws, unlike in the West, where women face discrimination in terms of pays and so on, in Pakistan, if you're working, for example, as a professor in the university, you get the same pay as a male does.
Yeah, but it's
and
not,
in a lot of professions.
I understand that, but so for instance, it's not so much about what the law is and how it is enforced. It's more about access, which is what we're talking about, that women are limited from their homes.
But yes, from their homes, because if a woman wants, in fact, now military is also opened up to jobs for women. So it's not that women are denied. We have engineers, we have women who are fighter pilots now. So the field for women is opening up, and I think the discrimination really begins. It's a psychological discrimination. It's a discrimination that begins from within the family and proceeds in society. But if a woman really wants to move forward and she can overcome the discrimination imposed by her family and society, then I think in terms of job access and access to any career that she wants, there is very little that is there in the way.
So the first thing from this that I would want to ask you is, what would you want to tell our viewers who are young women, who are, professionals or not, studying, doing various things with their lives? What advice would you give them as a woman in Pakistan, as a professional?
I think my advice would be to young mothers that the duty falls on them to ensure that when they have families, that they do not discriminate between their sons and daughters in all spheres of life. And then my advice to young girls who are educating themselves, that they must fight to assert themselves, because the law does not hinder them, the state does not hinder them, and if they can overcome the sort of self-circumscribed bounds that society or families place on them, then the world is literally their oyster.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Dr. Shireen Mazari, Mom, for being with us today. It was a pleasure having you, and subscribe for more videos. Thank you.